The Reman Project is a coaching and consulting firm specializing in personal and leadership development for adult Black males, seeking to break the vicious cycle of missed potential so that they themselves transform their personal lives, their sense of leadership to their families, and their legacies that they want to leave for business and culture. We destroy this cycle on two fronts. We confront both the institution and the individual. We address the institution because, according to the statistics, Black males are under assault and are targeted for extinction in ways that their white counterparts are not. We are over incarcerated and undereducated. There are systems in place, political systems, media systems, and religious systems that serve as intentional, or some say unintentional, barriers to the Black male's advancement. As a result, we work to raise public awareness about issues confronting Black males, promote healthy and positive images about Black males, curate spaces to share information and resources about programs, services, and support for Black males, support knowledge creation and dissemination around these issues, and provide a forum for Black males to both speak and act for themselves. We address the individual Black male because we cannot avoid personal responsibility. We are now overmothered and underfathered. We make bad social choices, and we avoid responsibility for getting ourselves out from under the social plight that we face. We will develop the moral compass and character necessary to face the adverse realities that are faced in everyday life. We live by the premise that even that which is not our fault is still our responsibility. In 2019, we answered the call to transform the culture one man at a time. Our society, our families, and men in particular, are in a state of crisis. And the goal of the Reman Project is to curate the largest, strongest, and dopest community of Black males in the entire world. We then create awareness and action against the institutional and individual impediments that exist against the foundation of our culture and overall society, which is the Black male.
What's up, y'all? What's going on with you? This is Donald Morton. I am the Chief Visionary Officer of Remand. We help Black businessmen, Black men in particular, break the vicious cycles of missed potential so that we master life leadership and legacy. I am your host for today's conversation. Alongside of me is my older brother, who is fresh off of a phenomenal Father's Day. And Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., who is the Chief Operations Officer of Remand, but is also the Impact Builder and the CEO of JNF Enterprises. We're happy to be with y'all today. It is the first Monday after Father's Day, and I got to tell all of you, I feel a little better about Father's Day yesterday. I think we were really intentional. I saw some posts that were suspect, and I dealt with those posts that were suspect. But there was a different feel about yesterday. There was a different air about yesterday. Not in any way where we should be as a society in celebrating fathers, but I did see some hope. Dr. Leroy, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to all of the brothers that are logging on. Dwight Robinson, what's up, my guy? Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, Willie McMillan. Good to see you, my man. Thank you, Willie, for being there for, I know that I don't have to thank you, being there for Nelton Davis. But thank you. You are a friend indeed, bro. A friend indeed. So thank you for committing to keep us informed. I did text him the other day, and he did text me back, and just kind of shared his heart with me. So thank you, Leroy. Good afternoon, man. Good to see you today on this post Father's Day. How was your Father's Day yesterday, bro? Did you get everything that you wanted from your kids? And, did you get everything that you desired from your children, or what? Kind of bring us up to speed, man.
You know that you know what they say, right? If you say something long enough, people will start to believe will start to believe you. I think Trump practices that, but yeah, you keep saying that, folks gonna believe like he got kids. He
I have a question for you. This is
I
a
got
real,
an answer for you.
this is a real question, bro. I looked at your Father's Day post yesterday,
Mhm.
and there is, and don't spoil it for me. I really want you to hear the question before you answer, right?
Okay.
There is you, and then there is a gentleman in a Cowboys, I think, jacket, right?
Mhm.
Um, Tell me who those two brothers are. Is that you on
But
sides?
no, the only person in the Cowboys jacket is my dad.
Stop playing.
I- no, and I don't even know if he was a Cowboys fan because I told you my dad played college football. He played for
Yes,
Morgan State,
yes,
All American, and I told you the story about him, getting ready to go to the league, but dad is stubborn as he
yes,
is. But and him coaching football, he once he was a coach and was into it in the ministry and everything, he
yes.
wasn't that into football. you know
Okay.
I can really say that, yeah. And the Cowboy, I'm assuming the Cowboys was probably one of his teams that he would watch when he watched it and everything like that. But I would have, he and I would have conversations about sports and everything, but he was just very not not into it as much as I am into
Yes,
football and basketball and everything like that anymore, because it's what he did. You know what I'm
yes,
saying? So,
yes.
you know, so
Leroy,
yeah, but
Leroy,
that's him.
Leroy. You, bruh, look exactly
I
like
know.
your father,
He couldn't deny me if he tried to, bro.
bruh. So that's why I needed you to just kind of answer, like answer the question before. I didn't want you to say, no, that's my dad. Like I'm looking,
Yep.
and without any exaggeration, I'm looking like, oh, I said to myself, I'm going to annihilate Leroy because he got on a Cowboys jacket. Leroy got on a Cowboys jacket, and I know how
Yeah,
he
that's
feels
him.
about the Cowboys. I know, right? So I'm gonna crucify him. I'm gonna
Yeah, that
crucify him.
is not me.
That's your dad, bruh. You
That's
look
my dad.
just like
Yeah,
your dad,
yeah.
man.
I just, every time I look in the mirror, bro, I see him.
Yes,
You talk about face off. This is
yes, yes,
this is
yes.
this is his face, bro.
Willie McMillan says if Dr. Leroy has influenced, mentored, or taught his younger nephews or cousins, he has played a role as a father to someone. No, sir. No, sir, Willie. He is a dad. Not an uncle, not people that he's mentored, not younger nephews or cousins. No, sir. He has a child. He has children. And the
Don't
challenge
believe
that
him,
we
Willie.
have
He is
with him,
lying. And the
the,
truth ain't in him, as his mama used
the
to tell him.
challenge
Boy,
that
you a
we
lying,
have
the
with
truth ain't in you.
the challenge that we have with him is he has come up with this great theme for Remand. He works every single day really, really hard, talking to all of our team about, gentlemen, we going home. We going home. Every black man go home. Right? And this Negro has decided not to go home. He doesn't want to go home. So I am big on integrity, character, and doing what you say, and because I have not always done that, it is a big deal for me now. It's a staple. Ethics is a staple. Integrity is a staple, and we're giving. So I should also share this with y'all. Yeah, Crystal. Crystal, what's going on?
Hey,
good to see you, Crystal.
What's up, Chris?
Crystal, what's going on is Leroy is refusing to acknowledge his children. He's refusing to acknowledge his children. He has this whole idea that we're all going home. We're all going to step back into space, being fathers, so on and so forth. And he has decided that he still doesn't want to claim his kids. And so we're just having a conversation about the importance of dads, not just doing the work, but acknowledging their children. So watch what I do. Like, I want to acknowledge my kids today. All of them are doing incredibly well, right? Vice president of a bank, nationally recognized and award-winning DJ. My oldest son works in healthcare. He loves geriatrics, actually. My son loves geriatrics and loves to I'm gonna need that at some point. At this pace, Leroy, both you and I are gonna need someone, right, to make sure that we're good. Because Lala will be as old as I am. She only a couple years younger than me, so she will tell you something different. But she's as old as I am. So and I want to shout out today my bonus son, Marcus. He is 19 today. Happy birthday, Mark!
Oh yeah, happy birthday!
He is at Middle Tennessee State University, killing the game, and so I'm just really, really proud of him. So you know, I recognize my kids, and I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna look this way as Leroy decides whether or not he wants to acknowledge his children.
I have no kids to acknowledge.
This is a crying shame.
At this time, I have no kids to acknowledge.
This is a shame, and here's why Leroy refuses to acknowledge his children. They are not Ravens fans. He told me the story. They're not Ravens fans. Because they're not Ravens fans, he has decided I don't want. Look, this is right. So he doesn't want to acknowledge his children because they are not Ravens.
As for me in my house.
Look at Crystal's comment. Are you sure, Leroy? Just checking for the record.
Yeah, for the record, Crystal. For the record.
Yeah. Leroy doesn't have any children, y'all. But by the time I say this in the replay, people will have already said he has children. Like we are, I don't know.
I know, right?
We're 15 minutes into the program. We're 15 minutes into the show. So I've already gotten my point across. Leroy doesn't have any kids. I want him to have some kids. Even if he doesn't get married, just have kids, just have children. Just like just have children. Fornicate, do whatever you got to do.
All right, best man. All right, best man. Go on out there. What more stress does it? Go to be a dog.
Yeah, absolutely. So good afternoon to y'all. This is the Monday before Juneteenth. Yesterday, I did not get an opportunity. I kind of forgot about it, but Dwight asked the question yesterday, hey, is there going to be a special Juneteenth show? And the answer is no. A part of what I'm attempting to do, just based on, a conversation I had with my daughter and conversations I've had with my coaches, conversations I've had with my wife, I was up early this morning at like 4:45. I came in the office, spent some time with God, faced the character arc, all of the things that I do every single morning. And one of the things that came to me is that, and Leroy, you can, and we're not going to get into this today, but Crystal says, I just wanted to check in and say, what's up? Got to go hire more people. That's right. In fact, Leroy and I would like to talk with you, Crystal, because we want to just make sure that we've got good policies and things in place as it relates to hiring practices. This is what you do every single day. And just be able to run potential candidates by, right? Just to kind of say, hey, this is what we're looking at. Because there are things that you're trained to see that I ain't necessarily trained to see. Leroy's not trained to see. I want to know what the latest practices are. So if you'd be interested in just kind of having a conversation with us, we would greatly appreciate it. Crystal Fendi Styles Clark. So Leroy doesn't have any kids. So here's what I've discovered, Leroy. As you know, man, every single day that I get up and every single day that you get up, we face the character arc, right? And we spend some time with God, which is a significant part of the work that we do around the character arc. And what God said to me today, which was necessary for me to hear from him, is mastering life, leadership, and legacy when we are so heavy-handed on the business end. And we miss the other areas, particularly the life domain, which is where fun exists, right? That when we do well with business and we leave all of the other areas alone, we are, listen to this, Leroy, only 0.1111 percentage of what a man should be. 11% of what a man should be. 11%. So there are a lot of guys who brag about the fact that they've got, they're working hard, they got straight, they got great businesses, which is necessary. But I want to put it in perspective of what a man is called to be as he endeavors to master life, leadership, and legacy. As he endeavors to do that, you are only functioning at 11% capacity when all you have going on is business. When all you have going on is going to work, coming home, going to work, coming home, going to work, coming home. Right. If that's all that you're doing, you're only functioning at 11% capacity as a man. Full men that are at their full potential, which, by the way, I've also discovered this in talking with God today. Leroy, this just gonna bless you, man. The very pinnacle of mastery for being a man, you can only reach 99%. You can never reach 100. So I asked God this morning, what's up with the 100? Why can't I reach 100? He said, because at the time that you reach 100, it's time to come home with me. Time to be with me. Right? So 99% is 9 of the elements of the domains, everyone functioning and firing on every cylinder. Yeah. So I had some great revelation today, spending time with the Spirit of God, and just phenomenal stuff. So I say all of that to say that no, we will not have a Juneteenth program. My daughter fussed at me yesterday for even having a Father's Day program. She said Negro, and I told you she didn't say Negro. I'm calling it Negro. Negro, will you please sit down somewhere? You don't have to work every single day. And my wife will tell you I have a propensity to work every single day. And God had to literally tell me, hey, Don, you are only full on the work level. You're full, but you're only 11% full. because the other stuff you still have to do. So no Juneteenth. I'm going to be chilling for Juneteenth. I'm going to be celebrating the emancipation of the enslaved Africans. Please don't ever call them slaves in my presence. Don't ever call them slaves. They weren't slaves. They were people who were enslaved. There's a difference.
You corrected me on that.
You know what I'm saying? Because oftentimes you assign them or ascribe them based on their condition. They were enslaved, but they were people. They were people who were enslaved. They weren't slaves. They weren't born to be slaves. They were people free who another people group decided to enslave for their own economic benefit. Their own economic benefit. So yeah, we won't. I'm a drink another beer. Leroy and I had a beer yesterday. We just chugged it up.
I tell you, these folks will start believing everything. He alcoholic now too. I swear, man, that scene when I first saw that scene in the 5 Heartbeats, when he's sitting up in the bed, bruh, that looked just like my Uncle Kenneth. I was like, oh my God. I was like, Uncle Kenneth, come back.
Oh my God. And here's the deal, man, for real. My wife and I were laughing at it yesterday. You know, I told her, I said, I'm going to post that I had a nice beer after. She's like, boy, ain't nobody's going to believe that with you, right? My dad died of chronic alcoholism. He literally drank himself to death. And I think because of that, the spirit really has me, like, I can't stand the taste of alcohol. I can't stand it. It's just horrible tasting to me. And you know, now I may go out and I may don't all the brothers don't judge me. I may go out and have, my wife and I are out to dinner. I may have a strawberry daiquiri because I like strawberry daiquiris, right? Leroy, with my pinky up. I'm a grown man. I'm a grown man with a strawberry smoothie in my glass. All the other brothers got cognac. Yeah, y'all keep all that. I'm gonna drink this strawberry daiquiri, right? So let's see. I had a couple. I thought Dwight I had a couple beers the other day, but that's not what he said. He said I had a couple uncles go that way. I thought Dwight was going to confess on here, like I had a couple beers the other day. So Leroy, you brought up a topic, bruh. Last night, as you always do, as you often do, just kind of say, hey man, I don't know what the topic is for tomorrow, but what do you think about this? Kind of set the stage for us, man, of that particular conversation. And then I'd like to broker it. I think it's a very, very good conversation.
Really?
But before we do, y'all, let me play a commercial. Then we will be right back. Y'all stay tuned.
Morton.
Dr. Donald Morton.
Donald Morton.
Dr. Donald Morton.
Dr. Donald Morton.
Dr. Donald Morton. Dr. Donald Morton is an award-winning social entrepreneur known for his innovative social solutions.
Based on this fatherhood and manhood issue in droves, in incredibly large numbers. And I felt it necessary for someone to have a voice like yourself to do the work of restoring men in our society. And I've been doing that work ever since.
His latest solution is expressed as the CEO of Remand.
So Remand, the nonprofit, is about helping brothers that are coming out of prison, brothers that are dealing with child support, brothers that are the most marginalized of our communities, helping them with their character and the institutions that impact them. And then the LLC, our for-profit arm, is really attempting to address the CEOs and CFOs and entrepreneurs and people like that say, look, I got issues too as a Black man. My issues are a bit different because I'm in the C-suite. And how it plays out in the C-suite is very different than how it plays out on the block and those brothers that are coming out of re-entry. But here's a deal. All of us the same, for real, for real.
Dr. Morton is the former executive director of the Complexities of Color Coalition. As executive director of the coalition, he worked to congregate Wilmington, Delaware's African American community in order to create comprehensive strategy to influence institutions, policies, and laws. Dr. Morton has over 25 years of experience in African American community leadership. Remand is deeply personal. While he's glad that thousands of men are on this journey with him, it was started because he needed liberation. He was broken and bound, and he was fighting to put his life back together after divorce, infidelity, business challenges, bankruptcy, and a life destroyed by being the worst liar ever. Yes, Dr. Morton was a liar until he faced himself and proved his signature science, the character arc. Then and only then was he ready to lead men to learn and live the science of being remanded.
Yes, that's Leroy's favorite part. He was the worst liar ever.
Ever.
Leroy, set the stage for our conversation
That's
today,
deep,
man.
man.
Are Black men really needed? Or are we genuinely needed? Set the stage for us.
Yeah, bro. And it actually it hurt me because this came out maybe 2 weeks ago now, if that. I don't know if it's been quite 2 weeks, but I saw on YouTube where the young lady, Ebony K. Williams, for those that aren't familiar, she's an attorney. She's from that reality show, I think Real Housewives of Atlanta, or one of them shows. She's been on the Breakfast Club, and she had this big to do where she had the interview with Iyanla Van Zant. And Miss Van Zandt asked her, would you date a bus driver? And she said, no, I'd date if he owned the bus company, but I would not date a bus driver. So about a week or so ago now, she announced that she's having a baby. Now she looked like she about to have a baby, if you ask me. So it ain't like she just pregnant. So evidently she's been pregnant for a minute.
Yeah.
But she announced that she was having a baby, but she used the initials are IVF, which I'm assuming it says I don't know what it is. Fertilization.
Fertilization.
Yeah, fertilization, where she was artificially inseminated. And she's having a baby. It's a baby girl that she said. And I started seeing the conversations, of course, around her and having this child by herself intentionally. It wasn't a thing where she got into a relationship, it didn't work out. She becomes a single mother on, by no just by no of her own.
Yeah.
And it struck me because I was watching the conversations and I'm listening to people and it just the state of our society today, it hurts my heart to see conversations like this, and I started thinking about here's a young lady. She's very attractive. She's intelligent, of course, because she's an attorney. She has a lot going for her. She's a millionaire from what people say. She's a millionaire and everything like that. So she's very established and the whole nine. And here she is. And I think she just turned 40, or she's like in that 41-ish, 42-ish age category. So she still is able to, she's still able to have children with having a relationship and everything like that. She would have a relationship and be married, but she chose to do this versus being in a relationship. And I'm just like, they were asking that question: are we as men, have we gotten to the point where are we necessary? And believe it or not, bruh, there were some folks that were, and I'm quite well, there's women commenting, no, we're not, they're not necessary. She has the money, she has the wherewithal to be able to raise the kid and raise the baby girl on her own and everything like that. What she need a man for? And I'm like, wow. I'm like, is this real?
Yeah.
I'm like, have we gotten to that? So and this is the day after Father's Day. So I was like, well, let's talk about it, because yesterday, of course, we talked about us as men, and us feeling that we're seen, we're heard, we're appreciated, and we're just, we're just acknowledged. And here we go with this situation with this young lady who says, you know what? Bump all that. My relationships have been so bad that I'm going to go out here and have a kid on my own, because I feel as if I can do better by myself than to try and have a relationship with someone, get married, and have a child. I mean, that's the premise of why I sent that to you, bro.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be a good topic for today. I didn't know if you had seen it or not or anything, because we hadn't talked about it and stuff. I was just like, well, I knew we would address it differently than everybody else too,
Yeah.
as well too. So I was like, I don't know if you want to talk about it. I said, but I'll see what see what your thoughts are on it and everything.
I think it's a great topic, man. I'm interested, before I give my point of view, I'm interested, those of you that are watching, good afternoon. Welcome to the Grown Man Podcast. I'm your host, Donald Morton, alongside my co-host, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. And I think he is the reincarnate of his father. He said that it was his dad next to him on a post, a picture. That's him.
Yes, that is Leroy McKenzie Sr.
That's Leroy McKenzie. Yeah, that was Leroy. That was Leroy. So I'm interested in what you guys say. The numbers are climbing. People are joining us today. Thank you all for hanging out with us. 12 o'clock might be a better time.
I know. I was looking at that. I was noticing that too, bro. So we might have to think about that, bro.
We might have to, yeah. And I don't have it. 12 o'clock is a better time for me. And of course, because you have so much going on Mondays, it might be a better time for you as well. So we'll see how it works. It seems to be a better time for the people that are watching. So here's the deal. Are Black men in general, necessary? Yes. Here's how we know. She couldn't get pregnant without us. Whoever he is,
right?
Whoever he is, you cannot produce a child without the seed of a man. It's impossible to do.
You believe somebody tried to say that you could? You actually believe somebody said that there's some kind of science, whatever, that nowadays I'm like,
that's public.
Didn't you take biology class in high school?
That's public education for you. Yeah, they miss. They miss biology.
Hey, watch that public education. I'm a product of that public education.
well, again, proof. Like you got kids that you won't even acknowledge. So this is what's happening.
You're just gonna be digging all. You're just gonna dig all day on this kid thing. Don't be trying to kid shame me. Don't try to kid shame me and acknowledge my kids.
So here's the deal. And I'm gonna put up a quote by Gerald Hightower in a moment, and then Dwight has a quote as well. Those of you that are watching, do me a favor, engage with us today. I'm interested in where you guys stand. And by the way, there's no wrong answer, so we're not gonna.
Yeah.
If you believe we're not necessary, okay. Like, I respect that position. We don't. The only thing we don't do here is we don't bash men. We don't bash men here, right? But we respect everyone's position that they hold. So here's the deal, Leroy. When we ask the question, Because you just said it a moment ago. Oh. Hightower said, yes, indeed, gentlemen. 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is a great time for discussion like this. Okay, G.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have to think about that, bro. So
Yeah, absolutely. We'll make the decision before the end today. Yeah, I don't have any problems with that.
Yeah,
I
make
love
that
that
move, you know. Yeah.
So the answer is yes, because you can't even produce a child without a seed of a man. But they also it depends on the context of why we are asking whether or not a man is needed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because immediately when you began to kind of list all of the things that people were saying, one of the things that people were saying, of course, is, well, she's a millionaire, she can do it by herself. So that suggests that the only reason men are needed is for financial reasons, right? To bring or pull financial weight. And I want to share with every brother that's watching. I want to share with every. Dwight said, "Let's do a poll later." That might be a good idea, Dwight. We'll do that, bro. For every brother that's watching, you are more than your wallet. For every man that's watching, you are more than your wallet. You're more than your financial contribution to a family, because there are brothers who are working their fingers to the bone to provide for families. And I get it. Like, it's in us to work, right? We're wired. It's in us to work. We've been doing this since Adam, right? Before there was ever an Eve, Adam had a particular assignment: guard this garden, cultivate it, name animals. Like he had a full plate of working. So I don't have a problem with working. But before we got on today, or when we got on today, I was sharing that that's only 11% of your job. As a man, that's only 11% of who you are and what you are responsible for. So you and I yesterday talked about the fact that there's this brother, and I got to find the brother's name. Somebody please find the brother's name so I can stop calling them the brother with the beard. Right? Somebody please find the brother's name. But
I think it starts with a T. I think it starts with a T, but I just can't. I think it's Tip or Trip, something like that. It's something like along those lines.
Yeah. He made such an accurate position, took such an accurate position in saying, look, we are not just providers as it relates to money or finance, right? We are providers of structure. We are providers of an infrastructure. We are the foundation of every family. And the truth of the matter is, that sister who thinks that just because she has money, that she has complete parenting ability without the need of a man to add, just to add the balance to that family. There are some things, y'all might not like this. If you're a lady and you're watching the replay, tell me if you don't agree with me. It's okay. But there are some things that you'll never be able to bring to the family. There are some things that only men bring to the family in such the way. By the way, Leroy said this yesterday, and I'm going to toss it to him about it. He said, you'll never catch men saying we don't need women. You'll never catch men saying that. Men understand. Now, every man is going to tell you something different that he needs from a woman. The reason why he needs a woman in his life, every man is going to be different about that. But it is absolutely asinine for women to say, I don't need a man. That is asinine. It shows your level of fallacy. Like you live in a world that is incredibly fallacious, right? You think that you can do it all by yourself. You think that there is no contribution, no unique contribution that is brought to the family structure by a man. And if that is your position, listen, you are mistaken. But it's also the reason why, if you don't believe that you're mistaken, just look at the data. I'm big on data. I'm big on information, data, metrics. I'm big on that stuff. Inside and outside remain. So let me tell you this. If men are not necessary in the family unit, if men are not necessary, then tell me why, when a man is not involved with his child, suicide is up for that child. Tell me the reason why, if a man is not necessary in the family dynamic to provide structure, infrastructure, foundation, if that's not necessary, tell me why suicide is raised, teen pregnancy is raised, high school dropouts are raised, all of these things, mass incarceration is raised, being involved with criminal behavior is raised, if in fact, what's up, Michael Norton? Good to see you, man. If in fact we are not necessary, then why in our absence are all of these negative statistics levied? If we're not necessary, if you can do it by yourself and we're not necessary, then it would seem, Leroy, for me, I'm going to toss it to you here, man. It would seem to me that the trends for absenteeism or absentee fathers, the trend would be upward. Like if we're not necessary, y'all can do it by yourselves. You can do a better job by yourself. If that's the case, then everything should be going in a positive direction for every fatherless child. Every child whose father is not present, there should be an upward mobility. And if that's the case, stop complaining. Stop complaining. Like, stop saying he ain't this and he ain't that and he ain't doing this and he ain't doing that, which, by the way, the majority of the time you simply talking about he ain't paying the amount of money that you want him to pay. So what I'm interested in, Leroy, is that a fair argument that I'm making? Sometimes you and I, we disagree passionately about some things. We agree passionately about other things. The reason why I love the Grown Man Podcast is because this podcast tells the truth as we see it. So I'm not saying that you see it the way that I see it, but it would seem to me that as if absentee fathers is the goal, then we should see a climb in the social status of young people as they become adults, so on and so forth. Am I missing something?
No, I don't believe that you're missing anything, and I totally agree with you. But here's the thing: even beyond the data, like you talked about and everything like that, and I'm gonna go to the spiritual aspect of it. People can not like it, whatever. I don't care. But there's a reason why God said, even before Eve was here, God knew that it wasn't good for us.
Yeah.
To be here by ourselves. So even that dynamic, God knew it wasn't, we couldn't do without woman.
For sure.
So now you want to go to the other side of that he created woman for man and said it is not good for man to be alone. You're gonna and this is what I tell any woman that makes that statement. Well, women we don't need a man. So you think you're greater than God then? Because God himself said that man needed woman and woman needed man. He didn't create woman just because we needed her. Yeah. She needed him as well. And you and I have had that conversation. Adam did, like you said, had this big old world. He had this big old world that God left him in charge of.
Yeah. And
God said, hey, I don't want you to have all of that responsibility on yourself. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is create someone who can be by your side to help you to have domain and dominion over what I gave to you. So why in the world would you think that, that what God created and said, that you have the ability to now have dominion and domain over everything? That is, like you were saying, that's asinine. That's thinking narcissistically. That's thinking that you're better than God Himself. And that is the craziest thing. And that's what when I saw this and saw the conversations, I'm just like, why would you intentionally want to, say, hey, I'm going to that it ain't no man out here that I deem good enough to be with, that I want to marry, be in a relationship with, and to build a family with. I'm going to do it all on my own.
Yeah.
And we,
I just found something. This is why this is the Grown Man Podcast, because we're going to dig deeper.
yeah,
Because in my spirit, Leroy, Michael Norton says, Dr. Donald Morton, thank you for everything that you do, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for all that you do, Black man. Looking forward to Michael Norton being in one of our programs. Business owner, family man. Yeah, man, you qualify. You need to be in one of our programs. Michael Norton says, Dwight Robinson, one love, my brother. Dwight says he ordained it. God ordained this thing to happen a certain way, right? And Michael Norton also said, thank you, Dr. Leroy McKenzie. You didn't put Junior on there. You didn't put Junior on there, Mike Norton, man. He gets riled up. He gets riled up.
Did you I'm sorry, real quick. Did you see the flyer that Tammy sent out? Did you get the flyer about our the event next week?
I did. I dropped out of that event though. But I
did you? Okay.
I got the initial flyer. Yes, sir.
Yeah, the initial one didn't have Junior on it.
Oh, did you contact her?
Bro, take a look. Well, I'll let you see the flyer. The new one. Yeah, the new one.
Michael Norton said, I'm sorry. Are you willing to forgive him? Are you willing
to forgive him? No, I'm not worried about that, Mike. I'm not worried about that, Mike.
I want to read something to you, Leroy. Because it makes sense to me now.
Yeah,
absolutely. It makes sense to me the reason why she would say it. It makes sense to me now. This is what she.
Okay.
This is an article on Bravo TV. Listen to what it says.
Okay, that she did. Mm-hmm.
This is in 2021, August 25th, 2021. Ebony K. Williams opens up about what it means to finally know who her father is. So for the great majority of her life, she didn't even know who her dad was. So of course she doesn't have a respect for the need to have dad in your life because you think you did all of this without your dad's help. But let me also say this. It says that after all this time, she's finally connected with her dad. Well, why? For what? If he ain't necessary, if there wasn't a void there, if there wasn't a need, if there wasn't something that he could fulfill, that only your dad, your biological father could fulfill, why, Ebony? Why the need to contact him? For what? He ain't necessary. You're a millionaire. You're a millionaire who is empty. Because there's a certain thing. Listen to me. My dad died when I was young. I was 12, I think, when my dad died. Right? There was a hole, Leroy.
Yep.
There was a hole, man. And sometimes we have the audacity to think, we all right. My child gonna be all right. No.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it this way because there's so many people who say, don't speak that over my child. I'm just telling you that there is nothing that can replace a dad in the same way that there is nothing that can replace Aretha Elva, Nadine Adams, Jackson Morton. No one can ever take my mother's place, and no one can ever take Edward Donald Morton Sr.'s place. And if you think someone can, it's just a matter of time before you have to explain somehow where my daddy at.
And that was the thing that got me, bruh, because now you have, when that little girl gets 5, 10, 12, whatever age that it will come, and she's going to see other little kids with their father, she is going to ask the question to her mother, Ebony K.
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
where's my daddy?
Yes.
She's going to ask that question. That
Yes.
question is coming.
Yes.
It's coming.
Yes.
And my question to the ladies that that believe in that agree with that, what do you tell that child? How do you explain to that child that I don't know who your father is? And people want to throw up, well, what's the difference between that and a dude that she were to get into a relationship and he goes away and he doesn't have anything to do with the kids? She did this intentionally.
She did this intentionally.
It was done intentionally. And
Yeah.
like you said, this little baby girl will never know who her father is.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. And Leroy, here's the deal. This is the day we live in, because she's never going to have to ask. That article is going to live in perpetuity online.
Yeah.
So can you imagine? Now, you and I know we both been to school, right? Elementary school. Both you and I have had children go through school, right? So we know how children can be.
Who?
Right?
It can be cruel.
How selfish is it?
Yeah.
To put that child in a classroom full of young people that can read online, you don't even know who your daddy is. Sperm donor.
Yep. Can you imagine that?
Right.
Oh my God. I mean, I'm just, are you not thinking, or you just don't care?
Right.
You just blatantly don't care.
Right.
And that's what I was thinking about, bro. When I saw that, that's mainly what went through my head, man.
Yes. Yeah. We've got to deal with this idea, and I'm glad that you brought the conversation up, right? Because we have to deal with the idea that somehow Black men, Black fathers in general, are not necessary. The more you continue to promote this narrative that we are not necessary, the more you demolish society.
Yep.
Because here's the other deal, and I know we're not going to like this, and I'm going to say it like this because it's a possibility. You and I work hard every single day to make sure that this is not what happens, but this is a possibility. You keep telling us we ain't necessary.
It's a lot of brothers that's already there. It's a lot of brothers that's already there, bro.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
Yes. You keep
it
telling
truly
us we're not
is
necessary. Okay. If I'm not necessary, neither is my money. If I'm not necessary, neither is my presence. If I'm not necessary, neither is my presence. Presentc. Presents. Neither is my presence for Christmas. Stop complaining. So what I'm going to challenge every sister to do is stop supporting that nonsense. When you hear a sister say, we don't need no men, check that sister. Check her like, hey, don't keep saying that. My daughter needs her father. My son needs his father. And even though I don't know a lot of other women, I can tell you this, they need their fathers as well. They need healthy fathers. So we're not on here saying that a dude can just be wilding. We're not saying that. We're acknowledging the fact that we need to show up emotionally intelligent. We need to show up self-aware. We need to show up those things, but in those ways. But guess what? Let me tell you, ladies, some things. The truth of the matter is, sometimes when you get an emotionally solid, self-aware brother, he can tell you that you ain't even ready. So you say you want an emotionally mature brother, but an emotionally mature brother, I think Kitty Rose said, will walk your tail to the door and dismiss you if he has an inkling of feeling that you're going to disturb his peace.
Absolutely. And he rightfully should.
And he rightfully should. So if we are having a conversation about, we got about 10 minutes, because Leroy don't have to go nowhere. It's 12:10. We can stay till 12:10. Put some clapping in the chat if you are happy. Throw Leroy a parade and thank him for being able to hang out with us peasants for 10 extra moments beyond 12 o'clock p.m. Right? So all I would offer is that you can't have it both ways. Look at what Lala said. I need the men in my life. Yes. And let me tell you this. I need no Diddy. I need the men in my life. I need Leroy McKenzie Jr. Right? I need Dwight Robinson. I need Ronnie James. I need Gerald Hightower. I need Kenneth Johnson, Brian Bratton. Like I need the brothers in my life. I need my sons. My sons pour into me too. My youngest son called with my baby grand. And Leroy is the funniest thing in the world, bro. I said, "Hey, beautiful." She said, "I said, let me get to Delaware real quick, right? So I can hold her and she understands who Tupac is, right? I need the brothers in my life and I need the women in my life. It is the way. It's what Dwight said here. He said God ordained it. There's a certain way he ordained this to work. Whether you call him God, Allah, Jesus, spirit, source, energy, I don't care. Let me just tell you, there's a way all this has been designed. And you can keep removing pieces if you want to, but you don't get the outcome that you genuinely should get. Ronnie James, thank you for being so engaged inside the community too, Ronnie, man. I appreciate you, bro. Ronnie James says, in fact, they're saying you're not necessarily so loud and clear that gay white men can adopt a black child. That's real.
Yeah. Yeah. Bro. We got to understand this, man. We got to understand the society that we're living in today, and you and I have an understanding that this is a battle that we have each and every day, so that we have men, we have males that can be men.
Yes.
And step up and have a clear understanding. That's what Reman is all about. It's so that we don't have to have these conversations here.
Yes.
Even asking the question, are we necessary?
Yes. Yes.
Because we are, and you say this eloquently all the time. You can have, you can have the Ebony K. Williams and all of them in this society and everything like that. But and we talked about it yesterday.
Yes.
Until we go home.
Yes.
What did it say? The land.
Yes. It's cursed.
The land is cursed.
Yes.
That means nothing you do.
Yes.
Will be successful.
Yes.
Not a thing you do. As much money as she may have and all the other women that may have, until we as men take our rightful place in the home. Black men take the rightful place in our home. That needle ain't moving nowhere.
It's not moving. And here's a deal. Like if you don't believe me, we have seen Ronnie James. I think you hit something, man. Not just about the LGBTQI plus community, right? But about anyone who believes Black men are not necessary. Let me tell you again what the statistics have shown. Black women are, for the first time in history, making as much money as, they're in the C-suite, right? They're educated, they're making money. The LGBTQI plus community doing the same. Policymakers are making it possible for these different people groups. I ain't mad. I ain't mad.
You said it the other. You said the other day when you sent me that, when it was last, not yesterday, but the Sunday before, about the Miss Maryland pageant.
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah. Miss Maryland is a transgender. Now, this is not, this ain't, I ain't coming for that, right? But let me tell you this, with all the advancements, whether or not you want to make a man Miss Maryland, by the way, that's Leroy State.
I know, right?
That's Leroy State. And I'm wondering whether he had a vote. I'm wondering whether Leroy had a vote.
No, I ain't have a vote in that, bro.
Right?
I did not have a vote in that.
You got a man who has won Miss Maryland. You've got transgender males competing in gender female sports. Like, come on, y'all.
And even females competing,
females
operating in male sport, boxing, because you talked about that.
And got her head cracked.
Literally.
So with all of those advancements, Leroy just said it, the social needle has not advanced. And I don't know how many times we got to have the conversation about until and unless the foundation of every society and culture, which is a male. I'm not better than a woman. I'm not better than a transgender. I'm not better than the homosexual community. I'm not better than a white man or a white. I'm not better than anyone. I am different though. My assignment is different. So you show me a society in trouble, and I will show you a society whose males are in trouble.
Come on. Yep.
And the only way to address it and to fix it is not to say, well, we don't need them. We'll do it ourselves. Yeah, I just got a question. Yesterday, I asked a boatload of questions. I got one more today. How's that working out for you? How's it working out for you? Now, you may not have liked how Kevin Samuels came across. You may not have liked him. And by the way, for those of you that hate Kevin Samuels, you got to hate him. If you hate him for how he talked to women, then you better hate him for how he talked to dudes too. Because he was equally passionate about how he talked to brothers. I will tell you that at some point we better start. This is one of the things I can appreciate about him. Gino Jennings. Gino is as funny as all get out. Am I right?
I know. I can't stand his voice. His voice is just irritating. He couldn't be my pastor because I couldn't listen to him.
But
I'm just like,
he stands on what he believes.
Yeah, truly, he does. He really does.
And I have a problem with a person who stands one day on one thing and stands on another thing, another day, so on and so forth. I got issues with that. Gerald Hightower said, I need my awesome godly brothers in my life. No Diddy though.
Hey Joe, check that. We are
Yeah,
not
it
right,
is.
bro. We are not right. We are
Yeah,
not
yeah,
right.
we
We
get
are
it,
not
right?
right.
Um, Ronnie James says today's women are not interested in long-term potential of a man. Their focus is on the performance of Instagram gratification, no matter who can deliver it, male or female. Boy, you hitting it, Ronnie.
Yeah,
Now,
man.
now
Woo.
let me say this about what Ronnie just said. While I agree with what Ronnie just said, I want to make sure, and I'm sure Ronnie agrees with this too, right? I want to make sure what black men don't hear is you got an entire lifetime to fulfill potential. Like you got to get up and do
Correct.
something, bro.
Yeah.
Like this
Correct.
idea
Yeah.
that you can be in your 40s on your mama's couch. No, no, no. Not unless you just came home from doing a bid, something like that, and you got to get back on your feet. And by the way, we are working on some things. I got to tell you, I can't announce it today, but there are some things that we got in the works that are coming up with another organization, another brother. And when he's ready to talk about it, he's watching today. Then we'll tell you some phenomenal things that are about to take place. So we all believe in a man getting back on his feet, right? I'm not saying that he shouldn't, but I am saying that, brothers, we need to start spending our lives handling our business in these different areas. And it's okay to fumble, it's okay to fail. All that's a part of the process. Ain't nobody's coming for you, nobody's crucifying you for that, right? But when sisters say, hey, look, I need a brother who's really kind of handling his business with instant gratification. I don't know that it's always instant gratification that they're looking for, but they are looking for movement. And brothers, we ought to be able to show them a level of movement. Look at what Dwight said. Dwight said, we coming home. We're about to wrap up, y'all. Dwight said, we coming home. Ronnie James says, these studs running around here acting like men are spoiling the hell. Ronnie gonna say it like he feel it, bro.
Exactly. Tell us how you really feel, honey.
Yeah, that's Ronnie. He gonna say it. He gonna say it. I totally agree. It's a process, but what I'm pointing out is that women don't have the patience for the process. They want it done yesterday. Yeah, and here's the deal, though, Ronnie. Some of them have a right to want it done yesterday. Some of them have a right because they've done the work, right? Like if a sister has done the work, both emotionally, financially, as it relates to health, as it relates to education, if she's done the work, no, she don't have to be patient with a guy trying to do that work. She doesn't. And neither do we, by the way. Like if a man has done his work, right? If he's done his emotional work, if he's done his financial work, if he's done his health and wellness work, if he's done his educational work, his spiritual work, he doesn't have the responsibility to wait for a woman to grow up. No, he don't have that responsibility, right? So what I'm saying is that it is absolutely necessary for all of us to do our work and then meet, right? That if there's a part of us that we still working on, yeah, a sister might say, okay, we're going to give some time to it. But sisters are looking for guys who are about their business. And quite frankly, they should be.
Well,
And brothers are looking for women that are about their business. And quite frankly, they should be.
but I'm gonna push back a little bit on that, and that sounds good, but I don't wholeheartedly believe that, because whether it's a man that sees a woman, she a dime piece, and she got the body is bodying and everything, but she's, like you said, she ain't all together as far as the other aspects of her life. He'll overlook that.
Well, he shouldn't,
Just
though.
as
He
a
shouldn't,
woman. Right,
He
yeah, exactly.
shouldn't.
That's my
Yeah,
point. That's my point.
yeah,
That he shouldn't.
he
Just
shouldn't.
as a woman who will say, she'll say, yeah, I need a brother to have A, B, C, D, whatever, but that brother if he got, the 6 feet, he making good money, he taking care of her,
Yeah.
or he had that look as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
looks good.
Yeah.
She'll overlook that too and be like, well, yeah, I can, when she should be like, oh man, I see the red flags, but I'm going to go through the red flags anyway.
Yeah.
But then they'll want to argue, well, there's no good men out here. And men say there are no good women out here.
Yeah.
Don't come to me with that. Because
Yeah.
I promise you, and I tell men and women this. So if you want to make that statement that you want to do this all together and everything like that, okay, fine. Show me your last 2 to 3 relationships that you had.
Right.
Because if you say that's what you want, then you wouldn't have gotten into those relationships if it didn't turn out.
Right.
Because all of a sudden now, oh, nah, they weren't what I thought it was. Well, did you take the time to get to know them?
Yeah.
Did you ask the questions like that needed to be asked in order for you to be able to know the person?
Yeah. I think
So,
that's fair.
yeah,
I think what you're saying is fair. 100% fair, right?
Yeah.
And again, when we start, I love your point. When we start asking different kinds of questions, right? I saw one person say this. When are we going to start asking the question? I think it was Bruce Bailey, a friend of mine. Shout out to Bruce. Bruce is a praise and worship singer at Faith City Central, my spiritual father's ministry I'm a part of, right? And Bruce was on a podcast and he said this: we're asking questions about credit and we're asking questions about, money and salary and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
When are we going to ask the questions like, hey, how'd your mom, did you and your mom get along? Did you and your dad
Come on, bro.
Did your parents get along? What did you see?
Yes, sir.
Because the likelihood of us mimicking
when's the lesson
is very likely. Right? So Ronnie says, well, that might be why the sister went and got in vitro fertilization done. She got tired of waiting for black men to show up. No, she didn't get tired of waiting for black men to show up. The truth of the matter is there are dope black men on every level.
Exactly. I agree with that. Totally agree with that.
So we got to stop acting like every black, not you, Ronnie, but I'm saying in general as a society, we got to stop acting like every black man's in jail. Every black man did something wrong. No, there are dope black men at every level. There are dope black men with PhDs and EDDs and D-Mins and
in the C-suite.
There are dope black men that are working hard every single day. There are dope black men that are committed to their families. Dope black men out here. She went and got that done because she feels like at some level, she reached a level of success without her father being in her life. And then she went back and figured out, you know what? I still miss him though. Like there's still something missing. You can't avoid us forever, y'all. You can't avoid us forever. 99% of these relationships are carnal of the flesh and contractual. There's never a spiritual attraction in the beginning. Yeah, I might agree with that. But at the end of the day, we do have to raise our criteria as it relates to what we're looking for in relationship. It can't, for the brothers, it can't be all about kitty. Because after a while, you got to get out the bed, kitchen, dining room table, wherever you're doing it. You're gonna have to get out of that state.
All right, bro. We're not interested in what you do, okay? We're not interested in what you do, okay?
Oh God, yes, sir. So you can't. Right? Like you're going to have a different kind of criteria. We're going to have to be better than that. Yeah. We're going to have to look for more than that because marriage is a strategy. Like it just can't be. Marriage is a strategy. It is.
Come on, bro.
Ronnie James said busted. Ronnie, dining room table, kitchen counter. Don't y'all ever come eat over here.
y'all sitting at the table eyeing each other. It's like if they only knew. Y'all ain't right. Y'all are not. You and Ronnie are not right, man. Y'all not right. Y'all not right.
Ronnie said, "Busted, got him." Right. So here's the deal, y'all. We wrapping up. It's 1:15, and I want to be respectful of everybody's time. Thank you all for being so engaging today.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it. Right. These are the grown man conversations that we need to have. There are other podcasts. There are. Where do they reside, Leroy? The other podcasts. Where are they?
4 blocks down. 4 blocks. Like bro man said, I'm on the 4 blocks down. I got up 5 fingers, 4 blocks down though. Make a left.
Yes.
And look for the green awning. I promise you they there.
Cotton
They
candy.
there all day at Cotton Candy all day, every day. You can find them anytime you want to.
Cotton candy.
They not gonna give you this right here. I promise you, they not.
Real talk, real.
They not. It's real talk.
Grown men. So Leroy, let me let you give them your final thoughts on today's comments, man. Then I'll give mine, and then we'll be out of here.
No, bro. But as you were talking about Ebony K. Williams and her dad, she's doing to her daughter exactly what was done to her.
Intentionally, though.
Intentionally, right. Intentionally doing to her daughter what her father did to her.
Right.
That's crazy.
And
why would you do
really
something?
We got to be really careful about that language, right? Because we don't know. Remember yesterday's lesson. We don't know his story, and we don't know what he has done. We don't know. Right. So I don't know that her father did anything to her yet. We don't know that story. But what we do know is whatever happened, she is intentionally deciding to put her daughter in a position that she was once in with her own father. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Correct. No, that had me thinking, bro. And we've got to do better as a community. We've got, if our community is going to move the needle, which is why we're here. This is what we talk about. Why the Grown Man Podcast is here. Why Remain is here. We're here to move the needle.
Yes.
And if we're going to move the needle, we have got to do better. We've got to look within, as you always talk about. We've got to look within because it ain't right. It ain't right, and we've got to fix it on both sides. And we've got to fix it on the woman's side, and we're here to fix it on the male side, on the man side. That's what we're here to do.
Yeah.
We're here to fix it.
Yeah.
It's broken, y'all. It's broken.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny, man.
Anytime this is the narrative, this is the narrative, it's broken.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree 100%. It's crazy. And I want to say this to there's a brother inside Remain community, Calvin Mann. And Calvin Mann posted, right? He said that when we posted about other people groups, right? He said that ain't my concern. And I said it affects us though. Let's be clear. It affects us. Anytime policies are being developed that make this possible, it affects us, right?
Yep.
And yet his point was, I am laser focused on dads. I'm laser focused on dads. And to Leroy's point, we are laser focused on men mastering life, family, and business. We're laser focused on that, right? Life, leadership, and legacy. So I want to thank all of you for hanging out with us today. Do me a favor, brothers and sisters that are watching. You'll see at the bottom, paypal.me/remain. I have been asked by God to continue to make available opportunities for you to give and donate to the work of Remain. The for-profit side is good. It's taken care of, right? The nonprofit side functions based on the donations of people like you who just genuinely want to see Black men better. And if you are an individual as a Black man and you want to see your fellow Black men better, then we encourage you to go to paypal.me/remand and donate. Those donations go to help us with brothers who are on child support and genuinely need some help, brothers who are in jail for nominal amounts of money that are non-felonious kinds of offenses. I think that's crazy, right? And so we are raising money to make sure that we can always be on standby to help guys that don't have the resources to be able to navigate the legal system. So if you believe in this work, even if you're a part of one of our programs and you believe in the work of the nonprofit, we ask you to donate because it's the way that we get an opportunity to serve men who just don't have the resources. And if they don't have the resources to take care of a lawyer in court, they certainly don't have the resources to be able to take care of giving toward us. And so sometimes we got to do for another man what we wish somebody would do for us if we were in the exact same situation and scenario. So go to paypal.me/remand and give a donation. We left it open so you can give as much or as little as you would like to give. Those of you that are doing pretty well, then a donation should reflect that. If you're struggling, then your donation can reflect that. But all of us can give something. Leroy, I learned a long time ago, man, it's not equal amount, it's equal sacrifice. It's not equal amount, it's equal sacrifice. So I want each of you to be able to give toward the work of Remand. By the way, Leroy, I'll send it to you today. In our inbox is our updated MOU with the Division of Child Support Services in Delaware. For those of you that don't know, we are in partnership with the Division of Child Support Services so that brothers who are encountering challenges with the Division of Child Support Services, we can help you. And we're not just talking fluff. Over 1,200 licenses, both drivers and professional licenses, were restored to men as a result of the work that we do. So shout out to the brothers of Remand. Shout out to the brothers that were participating in the tour dates. We were able to get real tangible results for those brothers.
Lovely.
And brothers that recently had child support issues called us. We put them in contact with our contact there. And listen, Leroy, within 2 hours, the case was dropped. 2 hours.
Wow.
2 hours, right? So
that's crazy.
So we're doing the work, right? And all you got to do is show up. Now, for those of you that don't have children, those of us that are on here, I have children, Leroy has children, Dwight has a child. But for those of you that don't have children, you don't understand the plight of what it is. I've been through child support. I've had to stand before judges. And I will tell you that the non-custodial parent does not have a lawyer. Mom got a lawyer. Right? So you got to stand there by yourself while she's got an attorney fighting for her.
So you can't have representation as a non-custodial?
You can, but you got to pay for it.
Right.
Yes,
but she doesn't have to pay. She doesn't have to pay for an attorney.
Hers is paid for by the state.
Wow.
Hers paid for by the state.
I told you, bro.
Yeah,
people see, people don't understand this aspect of it, bro. You gotta play, right. And that's probably why a lot of dudes they like I don't have the means to be able to fight her.
Right, exactly. But we've got to collectively do something about that. So when I'm on here and I'm talking about, or Leroy's on and he's talking about donating, or Dwight's on and he's talking about donating, we're asking you to donate because there are real brothers with real needs.
Yeah.
And if nobody else helps them, we're going to help. And we're going to do it all with your help. This is a movement. And we need your help to continue to advance the work that we're doing. So thank you guys for hanging out with us today. I'm going to show one more commercial, and then we out of here. Leroy, tell them what you want them to do, man. On the count of 3, I'm with you.
1,
2,
2, 3.
Be gone.
Be gone.
Talk to y'all soon. Peace.
The Remand Project is a coaching and consulting firm specializing in personal and leadership development for adult Black males, seeking to break the vicious cycle of missed potential so that they themselves transform their personal lives, their sense of leadership to their families, and their legacies that they want to leave for business and culture. We destroy this cycle on 2 fronts. We confront both the institution and the individual. We address the institution because, according to the statistics, Black males are under assault and are targeted for extinction in ways that their white counterparts are not. We are over-incarcerated and undereducated. There are systems in place, political systems, media systems, and religious systems that serve as intentional, or some say unintentional, barriers to the Black male's advancement. As a result, we work to raise public awareness about issues confronting Black males, promote healthy and positive images about Black males, curate spaces to share information and resources about programs, services, and support for Black males, support knowledge creation and dissemination around these issues, and provide a forum for Black males to both speak and act for themselves. We address the individual Black male because we cannot avoid personal responsibility. We are now overmothered and underfathered. We make bad social choices, and we avoid responsibility for getting ourselves out from under the social plight that we face. We will develop the moral compass and character necessary to face the adverse realities that are faced in everyday life. We live by the premise that even that which is not our fault is still our responsibility. In 2019, we answered the call to transform the culture one man at a time. Our society, our families, and men in particular, are in a state of crisis. And the goal of the Remand Project is to curate the largest, strongest, and dopest community of Black males in the entire world. We then create awareness and action against the institutional and individual impediments that exist against the foundation of our culture and overall society, which is the Black male.